This is Boxing Tickets NI. We are delighted to be joined on Zoom for the first time with Liam Walsh. We're doing your post-fight interview from obviously last night. I guess obviously you've probably had time to reflect and things like that. Like your third straight stoppage last night, Liam. I'm sure you're delighted. Obviously, your car first and foremost, obviously getting another win, but obviously to do it in a stoppage fashion as well. And obviously it must delight you that you're able to do that.
Yeah, it was a good performance, and I was really happy to get another stoppage, which wasn't supposed to get another stoppage. Like that fellow was meant to bring me my 6 rounds. I need to do 6 rounds um, in a fight. I've had three 6 rounders now, and they've all not gone the distance. I think personally, it's because I'm way more relaxed, knowing I have the rounds, so I'm not starting way too fast like the 4 rounders, and I'm taking my time, and I'm tr throwing the shots when they need to be thrown. I'm not just throwing them for the sake of it, and they're landing sweet.
You obviously have seen you obviously quite until obviously after until your fight sort of seen you obviously about the arena sort of all night. You seem to be sort of taking the atmosphere and stuff in. Like what a setup it was last night. Obviously, I know obviously you boxing sometimes you sort of try and not focus too much on that, but obviously elite and obviously Sheer put on a master class last night. I thought the production was incredible.
When I walked into the arena um, earlier on in the day, um, I just looked around and I just thought, when the lights are off and the only lights are on that will be shining in the ring, it's gonna look amazing. Like, and then yeah, I started walking around. I had to do Paddy's corner, the third man, and then straight after that, I had enough time to get myself ready for a fight. Yeah, so I had done the ring walk, not for myself, but I'd done it already in a way. So the pressure was off a little bit more than, going into that for just one hit. Like I had done it. I'd seen the fans around, and yeah, it was a great show, and fair play to Elite Sports Promotions and Sheer Sports. So Barry Walsh and Jason Quigley, fair play to you. It was one of the best shows that I've ever boxed on.
It's I guess it's one of them. Obviously, I guess obviously it's a family thing and stuff like that. Sometimes that you can get so caught up in it when you're involved with it so much, you can sort of not appreciate it so much. But I think anybody I've spoke to, obviously everybody's come away obviously happy, and that's what we want from boxing, doesn't it? That was the 13th show I think of the year, and obviously still people are impressed with what they're seeing, and it's I think it's a year on, is it today since the first show? So obviously, do you think in that year how far things have come along?
Yeah, so looking back for the first show this time last year in the National Stadium, that show was a good show to get things rolling again, and for my dad's first ever professional show. Um, but it's mad to see how far it's gone, and the big improvements of last night and compared to the first show. And it's only great to see because it just means we're moving in the right track.
I was speaking obviously to your brother and obviously last night as well, and he was saying he's obviously going to digest obviously everything from from obviously the fight card last night over the next couple of weeks, so he can obviously go bigger and go better in 2024, and that's music to your ears as well. Obviously, you obviously want to be involved in these shows. Like that's two shows you've been involved with this year: Jason Quigley headline and Joe Ward headline. And like, what's next?
Yes, they're huge names to be on the undercard, and I was lucky enough to be the co-main event for Jason Quigley, which is huge pressure as well. Um, we had James McGivern fight for the Celtic title, and he won that well deserved. He really did deserve the title. He was co-main event of Joe Ward, so they're huge names on these cards, and yeah, that brings people thinking and wanting to come and see what Elite Sheer Sports are doing to be able to secure these names and headline them in Ireland. They'd never boxed. Jason Quigley and Joe Ward had never boxed in Ireland as a professional, and Elite and Sheer have gave them the opportunity to do that and give back to their fans when they were always fighting in America.
Is it obviously good for you in a way where obviously you can learn something else? Obviously, two of them obviously outstanding amateurs and everything else. Obviously, Jason's fought for a world title and everything else. Joe Ward, it's only a matter of time before he gets there. For you, is it sort of are you sort of trying to copy or sort of see how they carry themselves, obviously in fight week and things like that? Is that what it is for you? You're trying to learn wee bits from them. So obviously, as your career builds, you've obviously something you can add to your arsenal.
Yeah, of course, I'm always trying to learn, even if it's from the other fighters or just uh, off anyone. Even if like the likes of Tyler Jolly there, he was a great amateur, and I know he's not as had as much professional fights as me, but he's still been at the highest level in the amateurs. There's so many fighters around you in that change room, and you have to just look around and understand that there's high quality, and you can learn from every single one of them in the changing room. It's not just about the ones topping the bill. There's plenty of talent from the first fight to the last.
Obviously on the fight, obviously last night, when obviously I'd seen obviously the opponent, obviously David Tankos 1-0, one stoppage. It was obviously your first time, obviously with a fighter probably similar in age to you. Obviously he's 22, you're 20, so very similar in age. He's obviously coming, they'd never tasted defeat before. What sort of pressure did that sort of bring on you? Did it just the fact that was it more to obviously put you under that pressure so you can't afford to sort of make mistakes? Was there any sort of pressure on you sort of with last night going into the fight with that?
There was pressure, but there's always pressure when you're going into the ring, even if it's with the typical journeyman. Um, I felt it was more to put someone who doesn't want to lose. Someone's not going to go on the back foot and tuck up and just let me walk away. That means I've got to bring the pace. That means I have to try and control everything from the get-go. Um, David didn't. He wanted to try and control the pace. I didn't let him in there, and I felt as soon as I took the center of the ring, I controlled the pace. I threw the punches. I was dictating everything, and but he was trying it, and he was catching me with things. So we've stuff to learn from, and someone coming at you, an aggressive fighter who's going to throw, makes me make mistakes, and it showed more of my skill as well because it wasn't just a typical journeyman who tucks up. It was a fight like it that would make him throw the punches when I have to control the pace now myself against someone who's trying to control the pace instead of knowing when I get in there I'm controlling everything, do you know?
It makes it a little bit more rewarding, obviously, in camps now. Obviously, journeymen obviously have the rolling box and everything else, but when you're taking someone's undefeated record and things like that as well, it motivates you going into your next camp and stuff like that as well, knowing that you're obviously not just going through the motions now. If you're taking someone zero, you're obviously, you're gonna gain credit off the back of that as well. Like that's you now 2 years as a pro. So from obviously, they think it's 2 years last month, obviously since your pro debut in Belfast. So, they think obviously, you're 8 fights in. Are you happy with obviously how it's went for you so far? Still very young at 20 years of age to have 8 professional fights. I guess that's a positive in itself.
Yeah, I've been very active. My first year, I was really active, and I was happy with that. I wanted this year to be more active. I said 3 to 4. Unfortunately, I didn't get that. If the show in September had gone ahead, then yeah, I would have got my 3 fights because I would have squeezed another one in from September to December. But that's okay. This is boxing. Like there's a new year, and it's just around the corner, and we'll have a busy year again. See, I'm only young, like you say, I'm only 20. I've still got plenty of learning to do, and I think last night shown that I have a lot of learning to do, but I definitely have the fundamentals of being a good boxer there. I just got to work on a few things.
And obviously your brother Paddy obviously sharing a card with McGivern. That's two cards you've shared together. I was obviously commenting last night. Obviously his tan was working well. He's saying obviously he's out in Spain now in January. So he's going to get a proper tan rather than obviously going in the sunbeds. Would you go on the card with him in Spain in January, or have you obviously a different plan for next?
If there's a slot for me on that show in Spain, get me out. I can do a run out just to get the activity because, like I say, that was 8 months since April. Like, so that's a long gap, and I don't like being that long out the ring. You know, that's when the ring rust starts to build on you, and you don't want that. You want to be active. So yeah, I would like to fight, but if I'm doing 6 rounds, so they they have to see if they can get me on. You know, it's easier to squeeze Paddy to get a 4 rounder on. But yeah, Paddy had a really good performance against Dale Smith last night. So he deserves to get another run out and keep his activity going. He had a really good first year, three pro fights, and performed in every single one of them. So yeah, he deserves to get his fourth pro fight straight away and keeping everything rolling, you know.
Well, obviously you saying obviously you've had three 6 rounders now, and it's been three stoppages. Probably just trying to think, is it maybe you're maybe going to look for another 6 rounder and try and get someone to take you the 6 rounds before you go up to eight? What do you see the next plan? Sort of, will you move up to eight next time around in the hope that maybe someone might take you six, or would you maybe look at another 6 rounder again?
I'll be 100% another 6 rounder. I'm 20 years old. I need to be doing 6 rounders, maybe two or three of them that bring me the distance. I have to know that I can do it in the sparring, and like I say, doing that behind closed doors is a lot easier than doing it on the big stage when there's a crowd behind you and there's a bit of pressure because you can be fit, and if you let the nerves get a hold of you, then you're not fit. Do you know what I'm saying? You blow out very fast in that ring. So yeah, I definitely want to be bought the 6 rounds uh, in the uh, in the ring on the stage in front of a crowd a few times and have a good fight that's stand, maybe even trade for the last 2 rounds. You know, give an entertaining 6 rounds, show my skill. So yeah, we'll have a look at who is going to be able to do that, and and then we'll start pushing to an 8 round. But yeah, that's the plan.
I guess there's no rush to say when you're 20 years of age. There's no point rushing to Celtic or an Irish title, and then obviously going that's achieved. Now where do you go? And then you sort of add that extra pressure onto yourself to go to the next level. With you being very young, there's no point taking the stabilizers off because you have a long time left in the sport. So there's no point rushing to get somewhere. When you get there, you're going, well, where's next? You know, it's obviously that hunger keeps coming. So I guess it's good in a way that you're in no rush to obviously chase down titles. Them titles are always going to be there. You know, there's no point you rushing to get there. You know, you want to make sure you're ready for the title so you don't just be in the fight, but you're in the fight and you won the fight.
Exactly, that's 100%. I'm 20. I need to make sure that I've learned everything in that ring before I start stepping up. Because, like you say, if I win those titles, where do I go then? You know, you have to go into the real level fighters, and yeah, you don't want to be there too soon and be out of place and be stuck because then your career could end too short. And I'm 20. I want to be there, and I want to be winning titles at the right time so I can just keep progressing. So let's say I win the Irish title, I can go and have a fight and get myself into the rankings for the European. Do you know, I don't want to be stuck waiting around for 2 years trying to learn more things when holding an Irish title, not going anywhere.
Was obviously three straight stoppages. Now, obviously, you know, I know when you'd went, you know, the first five fights and not getting a stoppage, you probably were going, it's going to come. Now that you have stoppages, is it making you hungrier for more? Or is it just the fact that you know there's going to be some opponents that might be too tough and too durable, you not get them out of there?
I'd love to stop every single person I get in the ring with, and someone who says that they won't is lying to you. You know, it's a great feeling, but you have to understand that not every single person's going to go down when you hit them. So, yeah, if they bring me the rounds, I'm happy to do the rounds as well. I have the boxing skill to be on the back foot, the front foot. So
And you had a great crowd, obviously, of fans there last night. Obviously, when you were getting announced into the ring, obviously, there's a lot of people standing up. It was going, what's going on? You know, obviously, you brought obviously a good crowd up there as well. Obviously, that support's vital, obviously, in helping to motivate you for obviously as you're moving on in your career as well.
yeah, we've had a great crowd, and we thank me and Paddy thank everyone that does buy tickets through us and come and support us. Even just messaging us on the socials. We appreciate all support that we can get. The sponsorships are a huge help as well. So yeah, if we're getting support, we do appreciate it, and it's great to be walking out and hearing a big roar. You know, it gets you going, and you feel amazing. You know.
And obviously, finally, obviously, I know we always talk about food. Obviously, when you're through camps and everything else like that, obviously you need your wee treats. How many days are you going to obviously hit the junk food for before you get back into the mentality, get back to work again?
Well, I'm definitely hitting all the food that I can get into me until Tuesday. But yeah, I'll be back in the gym Wednesday night, and we have to go to work with M&B Softs, and a huge sponsor for me and Paddy, and help the lads out working as well. So when we get back, it's straight back to the grind, you know.
Definitely, it's the enjoyable part, isn't it? That's why you live nearly for boxing at the moment. Obviously, everything's around boxing. Your life has to revolve around it in some way. So at least you know that you sort of can't go 2 or 3 weeks eating junk food because then the camp becomes harder.
Oh, definitely, it comes harder. You're trying to shift weight before you can even start, just to learn more things that you were doing wrong in your last fight. You're more worried about getting the weight down, and that's when the camp can go wrong. Then you need to be learning from the start and not worrying about fitness and getting the weight off.
Definitely. Well, listen, obviously, well, thank you very much for your time as always. Obviously, I know that you're going for food again now, but obviously, congratulations on the win again last night, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you very, very soon.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on. Sorry, you missed me last night.
No, Liam. All right, cheers. Take care.
Right, thank you. Bye
Thanks.
bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye bye. Bye.